Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mark's Backyard Birds. Today's episode is all about being ready for the busiest season for ruby throated hummingbirds, and that is the month of August in particular. This is the fall season. It's not really fall for us, but it certainly is for ruby throated hummingbirds. And if you're like me, you probably have taken down your hummingbird feeders because it was so slow over when you didn't have a male set up territory in your yard and you haven't seen them, so you got tired of filling the hummingbird feeders, and that's understandable. It happens to a lot of us, really, for most of us. So congratulations if you had them nesting in your yard or around your yard and had them all summer. But now is the time to be ready because it's getting ready to get really busy. Now, you remember in the spring, those territorial males, boy, they set up and they defended that bird feeder or your flower bushes, and they chased the females around and they courted. Well, the females, of course, disappeared for you and have been very scarce since then because they've been nesting. They're the ones who build the nest, lay the eggs, incubate the eggs, and they have been very busy. Now, they do turn up occasionally. They come in to your feeders often on a summer if you have them nearby. But now is the time that you're going to really start to see them because those territories have now broken down. And it's all about preparing for the southward migration. So they have to build up fat reserves. So the birds are still will defend food sources like your hummingbird feeders and your bushes and things, but it's all about this is mine. I'm going to eat. It's mine. Don't try to eat from here. And there's a lot of chasing that goes on, and this is that time of year that a lot of people put out a second or third or fourth hummingbird feeder, spread them out so more birds get to feed at one time. Now, a really dominant male is going to try to really dominate the feeders, and then adult females will do it as well because she's got to fatten up as well. So what happens is we have all the males that were here in the spring, we have all the females that were here in the spring, and of course now we have all the babies, the fledglings that are out there. And of course the fledglings don't know the trick. They don't know the story. All they're doing is trying to survive in this world, and they're finding places to eat, and all of a sudden they get chased away by a bully male or a bully female even, and they just keep flying around finding places to eat. Well, this will peak usually in late August, maybe third to fourth week of August is when the numbers really peak, and this is going to coincide with a couple of things. Well, like our resident adult males are going to be leaving, but we're going to have northern birds moving into our area. So Iowa birds, Nebraska birds, and all points north, they're starting their migration south. And so we peak as far as total numbers, usually the last week of August, the first week of September. There's usually just coming through like crazy. This is when I have customers who report over 100 hummingbirds in their yard. And that's why you need so many feeders out. But it will gradually subside. Like I said, the adult males are the ones that are going to carry on usually first and get out of here. The adult females after that. And then the young birds who don't know the whole migration trick, of course, are, what do I do? What do I do? I just want to eat. I just want to stay here, and I want to be a hummingbird. But their bodies start to tell them, and that is the day length shortens, and the amount of sunlight and day length triggers their bodies to head south. And so what we see with them is, whenever the winds shift out of the north, and usually, especially in late August, early September, we get a big push of birds moving out with each wind gust out of the north and overnight wind patterns. So they'll move and they'll start to leave, but there's always stragglers. And I always say in my migration talks, I always talk about how there's always early birds and there's always late birds. So anymore, we used, when I came here, it was always, any hummingbird after September 15th is rare and it needs to be reported. Well, now we get hummingbird reports all the way up into sometimes now mid-October, but in early October is not uncommon at all. So keep those hummingbird feeders out and keep them fresh. Remember, it's really hot every day or every couple of days. Change that nectar. Don't put much in it at first until you start to see the birds turn up. And if you keep it going and you're willing to keep it later into the season, like I said, you might be rewarded with a really late hummingbird. Or I understand it if you just want to take your feeders down and clean them up and put them away. So That's the ruby-throated hummingbird busy season. Ruth wrote an article one time called Late Summer Hummers, and that's what we're talking about. So if you like the program, please give us a like, give us a share. And now, till next time, let's talk birds.